Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RV Business Capital Talk, sponsored by Eric Sell. From RV Business, I'm Rick Kessler and Sherman Goldenberg with us. And joining the two of us today, we have Dave Kelly. Dave is the Executive Director of the Florida RV Trade Association and soon to host the RV industry and dealers down there at the Tampa Fairground or the State Fairgrounds in Tampa for the Florida RV SuperShow. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Is this good timing, I would think, to ask you what things look like for the show?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're a little over 30 days away from opening the doors and everything's in place. Um, we were talking a little bit before about the storms. There was a little damage at the fairgrounds from the storms, but everything's looks like it's going to be in place and ready for us come January. So, and I don't know if you realize this is our 40th
Ooh.
year of the Super Show, and we're really excited about being around that long and having a successful show.
It is one of the bellwether shows, one of the barometers, let's say, for the U.S. market, and it's a pretty timely moment for a barometer, 2024 going into 2025. What's your sense?
We just did a small regional show at the fairgrounds in November, and we were up, I think 200 or so people over last year. So very, very encouraged by what the Hershey attendance was up from what they experienced. And I think with the election behind us and kind of starting out fresh in 25, I'm anticipating really, really good crowds again this year.
There was an election?
You wouldn't have known it, would you?
I know there was one. Uh,
Dave, 40 years, congratulations. It's always one of the most popular shows in North America for consumers. It's a open-ended question, but why so?
Well, and what Sherman was talking about it being kind of a bellwether for the industry, and it's because I think so many of our attendees aren't just from Florida; they're from really the East Coast of the United States. So it's kind of a gauge of kind of that whole east side of the United States that we get so many people that come to the show that don't live here. That it really kind of gives us a good picture of the industry from not just the state view, but from really the whole East Coast. So, Rick, why is it successful? Someone 40 years ago had a great idea to put a show in the one of the warmest spots in the country, and at a time when our campgrounds are 110% full. I mean, you can't find a place to stay down here between Thanksgiving and Easter. So just that combination, and I think having a show that represents just about everything in the industry, and people have come to look for that, and we're very grateful for the support we've had from the manufacturers and all of our booth exhibitors over the years. It's much appreciated.
your campground occupancies, like any good year?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. No, they've been booked for a while. That's one thing, Sherman. No matter how bad the economy is doing, no matter how whether there's an election year or what, people still want to get out of the snow and come down to Florida. So we're blessed in that way that we have very good weather in the wintertime and people want to take advantage of it.
Uh, the as far as the show itself, your exhibitor count, right on target?
Yeah, yeah. It's sold. Everything's sold out. All our booths are sold out. We have a few little things that are going to be different this year from the fairground side. Some of the exhibitor parking and a more stringent move out schedule, so we're not damaging any of the property and whatnot. We're in a kind of a odd situation that the state fair comes in right behind us, so they're very anxious for us to get out of their way so they can start placing rides and exhibits and things like that. So. But it's a great relationship we've had with the fairgrounds, and we've had the show there every year for 40 years. So good working relationship with them.
Dave, I'm curious. I can't remember the number, but the number of units you usually have out there on display and the logistics and the army of volunteers it takes to move them all in and move them all out. And I just can't imagine.
It's you know, even though we've done it for a number of years, you really each year is individual. I mean, the exhibitors aren't necessarily in the same spots they were in the year before, and it takes a team of people. We're kind of fortunate this year that two of the horse shows that normally we follow right behind have moved up into the Ocala area, so
Mhm.
we'll be able to start and move in much earlier than we have in the past because we've been working around these horse events out there because they have a very big horse area that we don't utilize. But um, you know, with you know, knock on wood, if the weather stays nice and the grounds stay firm, we should start beginning move-in probably sometime after the first of the year, and industry days the 14th. So we have a really kind of a narrow window after the holidays to get everything placed.
Hmm.
You mentioned the parking, a little alteration there and so forth, but by and large, it's another Tampa show. Pretty
Oh
much
yeah.
same deal.
Yeah, I think for the most part, you know, a lot of the things people won't even notice. You know, just those two, particularly for the exhibitors, and you know, we've never really kept track of how many parking spaces we use day to day. So the fairgrounds wants to get a better feel, and some of the parking got a little bit where people were parked in, and you know, of course, with liability and insurance and that they're wanting to make sure that if we have an issue, people can get out safely and that kind of thing. So um, things that we probably should have been had a handle on before. So it just you know another regulation we'll have to follow.
You mentioned the weather, and I think we can't miss this opportunity to comment on the high tomorrow up here in the Midwest is going to be about 20. I think you don't even get that cold in your freezer.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't appreciate what that's like.
I'll never forget one year going down there and us Northerners were all in shorts and t-shirts and the Floridians were wearing their winter parkas because I think it was 55 or something ridiculous, right?
Yeah, it's easy to spot the Floridians. They're the ones in the coats, and the snowbirds are the ones in shorts and t-shirts.
That's one of the fun things about the show, though, is just like you mentioned earlier, you get all people from all over, but you go to great lengths to entertain them. Not just the RVs are on display, so are the music acts, let's say.
Yeah, you know, we have a pretty hefty entertainment budget, and you know, part of it is that if people show up in a good mood, they walk in the entrance, and we have the steel drum bands playing, and then they come in and they see the guy that's dressed up like a house plant, and then you see the guy that's a living statue, and you see the music, you say the magicians and the musicians and clowns, and I mean, you name it. The more off the wall it is, the better I like it. So I'm like the P.T. Barnum of the RV industry. And I always tell my entertainers during the course of the year, if you come across an act that is really off the wall, let me know because I want to put them in there. So, yeah, I mean, that's just it. You know, people, they're down here for the winter time, so they're looking for things to do. So we get a lot of people that come out, I don't think that have any interest necessarily in purchasing an RV, but they come for the entertainment, they come for the food. Like I said, the weather, you know, most of the time is beautiful that time of year. And
Hmm.
you know, and entertaining keeps them happy. You know, you can see them dancing around with the music. We have the bagpipe band that comes through in the afternoon. So you know, anything to keep them happy and keep them at the show, you know, is a good thing. And they do get a second day ticket. So when you buy an admission, you can come back any other day of the show. So they're not rushed to get through the show. They come out, they have a good time, they enjoy themselves, and in many cases they come back the second day.
One postscript thing we wanted to touch base. Is there any notes from your end regarding the hurricanes? Is that all in the rearview mirror? as far as the industry people go? Or is it still something people are having to cope with?
Yeah, no, we're still has been some fallout from the storms. I think as far as housing goes, I think everyone has been taken care of. We haven't really gotten a lot from FEMA as far as what their needs were. I understand some of the dealers did get some contracts and things like that, but we weathered it pretty well. I mean, you'll still see piles of, debris, scattered around, but they're doing a real good job of cleaning it up. And I think for the most part, when people get back down here for the winter, it's probably going to be pretty much a non-issue. Some houses still needing repairs, waiting on permitting is a big issue for doing repairs and whatnot. But we've been down this road before, so it's not totally new to us.
I might add to that, but I think Rick, yeah, you might have something first. Go.
No, go ahead, Sherm.
Well, it used to be years ago when we go down there, we'd have a little too much fun, and somebody'd have to bond us out. And but that's not quite the case so much anymore, is it?
You get your own bond?
Uh, no, it's people come down, they have a great time. We have great restaurants. I mean, people really look forward to coming down here, and whether it's because of the show or whether it's to get out of the weather, I don't care. Just come on down. And I would just say Industry Day will be the 14th. It's a Tuesday. Anyone in the industry is welcome to come down, see the show, look at what's new and special, and come join us for the day.
Sounds
I've been compiling a list from the OEMs on what they're going to introduce and debut down there at your show, and it's a rather long list. So I think you're going to have a lot of happy people once they get down there and see what's what.
Yeah.
all
Dave,
right.
one more thing, if you don't mind. Just curious what your dealers are telling you, their expectations, not only for the show, but maybe for 2025.
I think cautiously optimistic, I think probably is the phrase. I think having the election behind us, regardless of who won, someone said it's very hard to sell against uncertainty, and now that that's out of the way, hopefully we'll see some drop in the interest rates. As you know, there's so many reasons why or how they can purchase investments, interest rates, confidence that you can, make the payments and have time and money to use it. So, I think dealers down here, their attitude is like I said, optimistic for the future. And like you say, we'll know in probably 35 days,
Yeah.
how things are going. But I think we've turned the corner from the worst of it.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Sherm, anything else?
No, I think we've done it. Dave, anything else on your end you want people to know?
No, we had talked earlier. Lisa, who has run the show for a number of years, has retired over the summer, and Patty Flanagan is now going to be the show director, and so we're helping her every which way we can to settle into the new position and take on these responsibilities. So you'll be seeing her a lot out there.
So
Sounds
please,
good.
people need to bring their shorts, t-shirts, and patience, it sounds
Let's
like.
hope so. Let's hope so. Yes, a little of everything. Yeah.
Dave, always a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for having me. I
And
appreciate it.
we do appreciate it.